What's up, guys? It's Calysta, and today I'm going to be walking you guys through the latest changes of KvK, which are called Kingdom Hunter. Had Kingdom Hunters KvK, I believe, last weekend, and I wanted to just give you kind of what my thoughts were, how it went for me. It is a 4-way KvK. You're going to have a kingdom that you're actively attacking. When you attack the kingdom that you're assigned to attack, you do get double points. In the same spirit, you're also defending against the kingdom that is getting double points for attacking you. Now, the really cool thing is it was easy to tell who it was. You didn't have to memorize the kingdoms or anything like that. The kingdoms that you were supposed to be attacking their castles were basically laced in red, and then the kingdoms that you were defending against, their castles were laced in purple. Now, the really cool thing about the way that this was set up is because it was a 4-way KvK, you were only attacking and actively defending against 2 kingdoms, right? But that 4th kingdom was also actively attacking and defending against the others. So theoretically, you would be able to hit anybody. It was just a matter of whether you wanted to get double points or not. So, for example, that's what the attacking kingdoms look like. Their castles totally draped in red, very obvious. So you knew if you hit those, you would be getting double points. Hopefully this is helpful, especially to you guys that are still in protected kingdoms, because it's helpful to kind of understand the basics once your kingdom undergoes kind of like unprotection. This is what the defending kingdom would look like. So I would be able to port to a kingdom that I was defending against if I felt like it. I wouldn't necessarily get double points, obviously, for attacking those castles, but they were very clear. They were draped in purple. So for some of you smaller guys, you would be able to tell how much danger you were in, because those purple castles would be getting double points for attacking you, right? So you knew that you would have to be extra careful for those solo attacks if you were within soloing range, which depends what it means. It really depends on kind of how big the attacker is, but I would say you could be soloed under 150 mil, and I've seen people actively solo under 150 mil. There is also that guild solo where all of a sudden you have 5 castles poured around you and everybody sends a single attack, but 150 mil and under, I would say, is still within solo range. What I did was go ahead and port to the kingdom that we were assigned to attack. These things occurred in phases. So every 3 hours, the kingdom that you were attacking and defending against would basically rotate, and the direction would change, right? So if you were defending against 72, all of a sudden you're attacking against 72. The cool thing, as I mentioned before, is this still was a 4-way KvK. Now, Kingdom 122, in my example, we weren't attacking or defending against them at all, but there were plenty of Kingdom 122 castles in Kingdom 84 and Kingdom 72. So what that meant was, you can see a couple there, what that meant was that it was harder for the kingdoms to run dry. Now, I'm including this just for giggles, guys, because you can see that I made a mistake here. I went ahead and checked one guy's might, and it was 42 million, and I was like, easy, I'm gonna go ahead and attack him, and I misclicked the castle. I didn't realize that I was sending an attack to his buddy who was sitting at about 110 111 million might. Different situation, right? I was already kind of using max army boost and my attack boost, but you can see this kind of shocked me. When I first saw this, I wasn't sure what happened. I was like, wasn't this guy 42 million? So it happens. KvK is exhausting, right? You're doing this for hours, and it was one of those things where I had thought I clicked that castle and I didn't, right? And once you're kind of in this situation and you've already started the process and you know the guy's not online, I always feel compelled to finish it. So at this point, the guy was pretty even in terms of the mix that he had in his castle. So what that means is that I'm going to need to kind of go pretty even mixed, just kind of fronting with the troops that are strongest for me, which in this case, the way that I was spec'd was infantry. You can see here, after the second attack, he had a lot of cavalry and siege left. So I knew that I would need to do most of the cleanup, sending a full ranged attack, and that would take care of all his calves. What it would leave behind, though, is his siege. Range doesn't do a tremendously amazing job with siege. Siege is always kind of like the stragglers. Never use siege to attack, but having a couple of them to defend always helps, because you can see here, we still had some siege up, right? And that's why I wasn't capturing his leader yet. So the last thing that I sent was just kind of like a mix, my BAU kind of typical business as usual mix, to clean up the leftovers there, be able to take his hero, but that was all a mistake. I didn't originally mean to hit him. I wanted to hit his buddy. So I went ahead and did hit his buddy, who was sitting next to him. And this guy went from 111 mil to 89 mil by the time he was zeroed. But you can see here, this happens a lot, and these guys I wasn't getting double points for these guys, but they had troops, so why not, right? Like, I knew my guild was completely wiping out Kingdom 84 and porting there and cleaning up a lot of troops. You can see here, again, this was just the castle I originally meant to hit. This was the castle that I hit by accident, finally got his leader. The other guy ended up porting away and leaving. But again, it gave you the opportunity to have an additional kingdom from a 3-way KvK also participate. Even if you weren't getting double points, you were still getting points. Let me know what your thoughts are on the new Kingdom Hunters KvK. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm all for any type of KvK variation that allows more kingdoms to participate with each other. I think 1v1, you can dry out each other so quickly that you're only going to be left with really big castles that can't be soloed, and everybody else is either shielded, sheltered, or zeroed, right? And that's no fun at all. So as many kingdoms that can be involved with attacking each other as possible, I'm all for. So to me, this was a big step up comparing this to a 3-way KvK. I think a lot of you guys, from what I've heard and the feedback that I've received, really miss the all open KvK, which for sure is super fun. I haven't done those in a long time, and we might see those coming up in the future. I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. It really adds something new, but especially for those of you guys that are in protected kingdoms, I hope you found all of this helpful. Thank you so much for watching.